I heard someone say power corrupts. Power doesn't corrupt. Misuse of resources corrupts. 500,000 people in this desert. I'm not gonna feed them, man. Well, there's some vultures out there. The birds, they land. There's nothing to eat. The birds, the bread. People eat the birds. No birds left, no bread left, and the people eat the people. See what we're dealing with? Any questions? Power doesn't corrupt. The mismanagement of resources corrupts. Then the dry earth corrupts, and they become the salt of the earth. And then we have nothing. So, pay attention. A little slope here, a little slope there. I'll tell you about that diagram in a minute. And then we're going to play baseball today. Now that, it's a baseball, diamonds. Not really, but a 1, a 2, a 3. But nothing really get there unless you got a downward pressure system. Now, I'll tell you about how a hurricane works here in a minute with the rooftops and why they bounce off. Now right now, the sun has been working from over there. Now it starts to work from straight overhead, and we're moving the clock. Now the whole time, the whole earth is moving through space. So now you get eternity forces. You watch a video from yesterday, you say, hey, it's moving, the sun, the earth is still moving, all the layers in between are doing different stuff and crazy stuff. And at the same time, all of that is moving through space. That's the 4th dimension, okay? 5th dimension, hey, did I mention nuclear power? Okay, now you go down and you go, that's why we had a 1, 2, 3-sided with a bottom connecting. You triangulate that. Okay, here we go, you ready? It's a little windy today. The birds can't land. So maybe the guy that's been coming out here feeding the birds birds will stop feeding the birds because, you know, you feed the birds out in the desert, then the people ate the birds. You teaching the birds to eat the birds, then what are you going to eat when the birds are gone because they ate each other? So I tell you what, we're going to go down here and look at the tree line. I'm going to do a little physics. Look at that RV, man. That's what we need. We need a rescue vehicle. Rescue vehicle. Now, a couple of these other geniuses, man. You see? There's one with an orange shirt up there on the 2nd floor right now. There's a genius over there wearing an orange shirt for Trump. Okay? We got a couple of Indian people over here, man. And got a couple scientists down the road. And there's some secret agents over there. And I say, you know, the light is like music. You guys remember saying I'm playing music notes right now? The light. This is the light. That's the vent. Let me show you the music. Listen to the music. I feel the wind. I wet my finger. I feel the wind. And the wind shear. I put a dry finger out there, I just feel the wind. I don't feel any wind shear. Now if I speed that wind up and it's really hot, what's it gonna do? It's gonna start to cook like a convection microwave. Now if I put something in its way, but it's not that tall, speed bump, slowing it down, slowing it down, slowing it down. It's a little heavier, stay down, stay down, stay down, build up, stay down, stay down. You know, but I put a four-sided pyramid there and it's like, I'm cooking the atmosphere, man. Okay, now wait. So they got a convection rate, and the rest of the atmosphere says, we got to get some cold over there really quick. Maybe we'll get it down to the desert in time. No, it's too hot, man. Shh. We can't even get it down there before it even touched the ground. I got this big pyramid. It's like, this suck the moisture in, cook it off. It's gone. Go get the big boy jets on today, man. Look at this. They say, man, did you get your big boy pants on yet? She's talking about, I got my big boy jet and my big boy canoe come out and play for the Green New Deal. Now, let's play some music, eh? I like to call this scientific. Ooh, look at a beautiful butterfly, man. Butterfly. Remember, I was stretching out, working out the gym this morning. I said, look at a butterfly. There's the butterfly, man. Time travel, man. Quantum mechanics, man. They say, hey, you want a butterfly? There's a butterfly. Okay? Now we're gonna walk over here. We got a couple jets out there on the landing strip, man. But before we even look at those jets, I want to tell you about a little bit of science, man. Why are they taking off this way? The wind's got a side wind, but side wind hit the trees. It creates some back pressure. What we got, man? Well, you know, you got a lower mountain range there going into the valleys. So what we try to do, we try to get that air into the valleys, but you know, they got the science a little backwards. So we do a little research, and now we say, now we need more research with ultralights because the science a little backwards. I'll tell you why. Oh man, I feel the breeze. Well, it's because the sun's almost overhead, but it's still a little back over there towards that airport, man. Now we're gonna tell the weatherman how weather works. Okay, you ready? You know, you can broadcast weather for an entire area, but when you're talking about flight, you got to shrink it down a little bit, make a smaller example for the bigger example, and you go from the small business to the medium business, you know, to the big businesses, to the corporations, to the space agency, to the universe, to the Federation Star Space, you know, and to the nuclear guys, man, and all the science and stuff, okay? That's how you lift America up, to lift the world up, to lift the miracle up, to praise God, and you say thank you. Now, you got a wind coming in, building up here on the airport. Little windy, it's good, you know, gotta have some wind, man, it's good. It means there's moisture and pressure in the air for the plane to lift off. That's a great thing. But you're out there in the desert, man, it's like we're flying through microwaves, man. It's like flying through outer space. Okay, so we put an International Space Station up there, we study that. And we said, tell you what, let's get an even playing field, and we'll raise it up a little bit, raise it up a little more, so we'll get a lift off, man. So when the sun come up, you get that moisture building, start pooling, and it's got this empty space, and it's pooling and coming down, pooling, and it's pushing up, and it says, man, can we do some push-ups today? I says, I don't know, let's do some push-ups. We're going to triangulate, man. So the guy yesterday, man, he's like, man, I seen that triangulation stuff. I thought it was pretty cool, man. I'll tell you what, I'll take my tractor, I'm making some tracks, man. So he comes over here, man, and says, man, I understand how some of this works, but could you just explain some of this other stuff, man? That radiation stuff, I don't understand. I'm looking at this stuff, man. I'm like, hey, check this out. All right, we put a little ridge, you know, a little ridge, 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 you know. Put a little point. Let me say, man. So we're building the pressure. It's going in. And the sun's over here. And the sun's going over. And it's building. And we're going, man. We got a clear path. They bounce off. The sun's moving. Now you're picking up a tree, man. You remember the sundials in the old days, man? They had the little shadow on the ground. The sundials, man. Sundials. You got the shadow on the ground, way beyond a shadow of doubt, man. Where are we gonna fight? Even in the shade, man. I don't care, man. Look, we got a sundial blocking the trees over there. We got a shadow cast. Yeah, you know, we'll win, man. The Chinese guys say, what's that mean? It says, you know, I keep my friend closer, man. My enemy closer. What do you mean? That's not what that means. Man, it's the art of what? Wisdom. You know, aeronautical rescue, man. Okay, we got a shadow. Building up pressure, a little wind kind of makes it through the trees like a bird feathers. It compress a little bit, and I get the moisture out there. And now, oh man, the moisture's lifting up. You know, it's getting hot. It's getting hot. It's spreading apart. It's not compressing, man. It's spreading apart. It says, give me some more. I'm thirsty. It says, all right. So it's spread apart. Now it's got some, so it's not as hard to move, man. It's a little spread apart. It's still dense, man. But it's the same weight that was hard to move through those trees, man. But once it got out there in the clearing, it's like spread out a little bit. What are we gonna do with it, man? I says, I don't know. If it's real dense, it's hard to move. So what we do is, man, we gotta give that air and that water some education. So the wind come through and says, man, the sun's over here, so it's hot over there. We're gonna go that way. It says, okay, I'll tell you what. Boom, what was that? Soup. And we say, well, bounce it off those trees, man, right? But what we got to do is it's going to roll over the top of the trees, okay? It's going to roll over the top of the trees. Then there's a little mist there, and it's going to push up on it. But over here, it's not pushing up as much. Why? Because there's a big, dense tree there, man. It got a lot of moisture in there, and it's got a lot of wisdom, but it's just like holding it together, man. It's trying to hold on to the sky. It says, I'm holding on by a hope and a prayer. Please, I need an air, man. And then the trees go, okay, I'll tell you what. It's getting a little warmer now, so we're gonna release just a little bit, but not a lot, because we're a massive structure, man. Now it's rolling over like a tidal wave, man, like a revival. That's a tidal wave bigger than the world ever seen. It says, what do you mean? I can't see it yet. Hey, you got a faith? Hold on. How about some faith for some faith? All right, come on, give me some faith. Boom, it bounced off the tree, man. It's trying to raise up, but it's still a little heavy. It's got some moisture in the air. And the sun says, man, I'm over here and I'm shining down with some radioactive beams, man. And I'm getting magnetized, man. I'm getting interested in that water, man. I need to put that water somewhere on the other side of the planet. And it says, man, I'll tell you what. We're building it up, man. Come on, it's heavy, man. I don't know, it's heavy. It says, keep working. It's heat. It's heat, man. Keep working. Get that stuff up in the air, man. I gotta do it. But it's hot. I can't take it. Come on, just pull. It says, all right, we're rolling with the waves, man. Get those Navy SEALs in the water. Start swimming with those little boats, man. Pull. Get those Navy SEAls. Pick up those logs, man, and run with those logs, man. They got those Navy SEAls running with big logs, trying to tell the whole world, man, we need trees. We got oceans of water with trees. Look, man. The work is hard, but we could do it. 1, 2, 3. Come on, march, people. The water's marching. Boom, bounce up, building up. We got a pressure system over here packing it. It's building up, man. It's pulling. It says, man, what are we going to do? We got to do the math on that. It says, all right, it's coming. We got to vacuum. Keeping some of the pressure over here. The butterfly flies through. It says, look, not a whole lot of pressure, but it's a whole lot of pressure. You can't even see it's building up, man. Come on, just get up in the sky. Now the sun's moving. Man, it's a hard work, man. Look at the rocket ships, man. Oh, man, we got rocket ships in the sky, man. It's hard work. They got an atmosphere up there because it's water, man. Keep it together now. Keep it together. Get it over there. Come on. Now it's overhead, man. Now we got a pressure system here, and the lightweight system is moved. We're doing Olympics, man. Now, first place person was there. He's like, man, I'm first. He said, oh, who's on first? I don't know. What? That's on second. Give me a second, I'll tell you about it. He says, get it up there. He says, I'll tell you what, I'm going to move out of the way. Now the second place player, he's like, on the water, man. He says, now in the third place, I had the trees, man. The trees was first, so now the trees is going to be last. Don't get rid of them, though. You got to save them like Jesus. So, man, the wind goes out, so I'm in second place. I'm going for first place, man. The sun went that way. This is okay. We're going to roll in there like a tidal wave, man. We're building up. Now we built up. Okay, now move over a little bit. Get out of the way. Okay, I'm pushing. Are you pushing or is that pulling? I don't know. We're doing both, man. The trees are helping. And the sun's pulling, man. We got some magnetism with some gravity stuff going on. We're like, oh, man, cool. So the engineers out here, he goes, they told me to build a big pyramid, man. So I built a big pyramid. I didn't know it was generating heat, bringing it all down in one place. And there was nothing there, so it was bringing all the heat all across the deserts. So then the engineer backs up and he says, can you help me? You help me, help you. Help me, help you, help me. Help them, help me, help you, help me. Help them, help me. Help you, help me, help them. Help me, help you, help me. Help them, help me, help you. Can we do that? I said, I'll tell you what. This is what we'll do. We'll do some hieroglyphics. Now look over here. And I got a water over there. I got the trees, the wind's coming in, it's heavy, right? Why is it heavy over there? You didn't pay attention because the sun started out over there before it moved here. You see, the sun's over here. We're bringing off the forest, playing like a checkerboard, playing chess, man. Playing how's your chest, how's your love, how's your heart? You know, do you care? How about a CARES Act for that failure to care for those star chart children, huh? We need an education. Okay, we're gonna give it to you. It's rolling in. It's a dirt plane. You got a heat rising up, right? So we're gonna pull it in and pull it in. We're gonna roll it over. We're gonna bring it in, but we got a little pressure system here. It's gonna hold it in place. Hey, we're lining up the pitch here. Like a wavelength, like a radiation liquid wave. Now we got the radiation heat wave, like a space ray, man. And then we got the trees. We're all like, and the eagle's up there like, trying to figure out how to land this thing, man. Hold on. I'm trying to help those people, man. Like an eagle eye, man. Birds trying to talk to them and everything. Okay, you know what? We put a satellite up there. And then we'll tell them, okay, no problem. Okay? And we're like, I'll tell you what. We'll come over here. Okay? And we got to tell them. It's like a wave. But at the same time, we got another wavelength, like a water wavelength, man. Plus, we got a radiation wavelength. And then we got a clear, sound mind, like in the middle ground, like we're fixing this to fix that. And we're like, okay, shh, get past the learning curve. Why? Because the pressure come through here, right? Now you got the trees building up pressure and a little low pressure, high pressure, like a pulsation pulse cannon. And we're like, it's pushing, right? Now you got this over here, right? Okay, so you got a heat hitting that, hitting the waves. Now we got a sideways cannon. We're like, hey, man, come on, man. You read those cannons, man, those holy cannons, man. Holy cannons that you talk to God, man. And they go, man, we got a court system trying to figure it out too, man. So we're doing all this crazy stuff. Everybody's fighting. What do we do, man? We got to fix the education. We said, okay. Okay, go over here, man. It's heating. Guy's driving by. He's like, I just made a little ripple in time, man. Right through all this radioactive wave stuff with this moisture stuff that everybody's trying to understand. It says, man, I'm driving by. I'm looking at this guy. It looks like it's crazy, but man, I gotta drive a little slower, see what he's doing, man. When I'm speeding up, I gotta spread the message. It says, man, radioactive waves, like a starship beam. Now we're spreading apart, man. Why? Because they said when heat rises, it compresses. This is okay. I tell you what, I'll take that. It's not compressing, man. Remember, I'm standing in a pocket yesterday, and I'm like, hey, there's no wind right here, but there's wind if I step 2 steps forward. Why? Vacuum pocket. Just spread it apart. Now it's like, man, we got a couple ripples, man, like a steps in time. Now we're bouncing off, man. We got wavelengths like this. Hits the wall. Can't go, man. It heats back this way. And we're building up, man. Making a big snow cone snowball for some snow, man. And then we throw it up there and we're trying to shoot, man. Where's it gonna land? I don't know, man. We're dribbling. Packing it all up. All right. All right, now you got that? Okay, now we're going back. What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you? I said, tell you what. We'll take this and say, but you got the sideways wave. Right? So now you're getting a little twist on it. A little twist on it, right? Now, those heat rays are pretty strong, and we haven't built up resistance and the electronic circuit yet. Like a Knight Rider, man. You see the Knight Rider car? Look at them cars over there, man. They said we took that Knight Rider car and we made a big truck, man. It's like a big truck. Hey, let's all get in a big truck and go to heaven, man. How we gonna go to heaven? We ain't gotta die to do it if we do the right research, man. We get a big green truck, man, for the Green New Deal, man. Hey, put a little gray in it, man. Navy green, man. Army green. Corps of Intelligence. Corps of Engineering. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? So this wind is coming through the low pressure heat system. We got a little resistance over here. So it's a little like a DNA, man. Hey, but that laser beam is going right through. Why? Because of the power curve. We got a power curve. Man, it's like, oh man, we got a little vacuum over there too with a little resistance, man. So now it's twisting. Too little, too much, too fast. Boom, we get a tornado. Hey, you know, too much heat and a lot of stuff. Boom, boom, we get a hurricane, okay? Power curve. You're gonna go over here, man. Which way are we trying to throw that ball? Well, we're trying to throw that ball off the corner of that forestry and that building. We want to build up away from the building so we can make it over the building. And when we make it over the building, the sun's going to be there at the end of the day. So we want to throw it that way and at the same time swirl a little bit and push up on it. That way it's an upside down, you know, tornado, okay? And what it does is it collapses like this as it's raising, so it does like a suction, you know, like a carburetor. You ever seen one of those carburetors? You got to pump and prime it, right? And then we take another ball right behind it and woo, throw the snowball right through it through time and space and push it over and push it up into the atmosphere, okay? Everybody get all that? Okay, good. Now, you go over here, you see the power curve and the original wave, okay? You could see it easier this morning when I drew it. 1, 2, 3, and here's a little rock. My trident forces, man, underwater. Why? Because it started out as a solid beam, and then it collides. Then it becomes one beam and separates and makes a vacuum in time and space with particles and molecules and moisture. And then it collapses and comes back together, and it's like a force of nature in a beam. Okay? Now, if it hits a resistance, it's going to do one of two things. There's going to be enough pressure to back push, or it's going to shoot right up, depending on if it's got a spin or roll on it. Like a bowling with invisible bowling balls. So, we go out. Okay, we got a straight curve through here. Now, I got my pyramid right here, 3-sided. See, it's pushing here, and it's got a lean with a push, right? So, coming over, rounding off. Okay, and it's splitting here, pushing back, refeeding, coming through here. We get a power curve, right? Rolling over, rolling over. Now I got the slope here, right? Rolling over, rolling over, rolling over, rolling over. Right? And I got the sundial, you know, little stick, man. Hey, it's the shadow's this way. Okay, so we're gonna get a pressure and it's gonna push it this way some, but I got the resistance here. It's gonna bounce off, it's gonna build up, and it's gonna pool. Okay, now when I know when that starts going this way, then my mechanical quantum physics clock is moving. But I gotta have 3 of them, right? And triangulate this stuff. Now you get that up there, and then you got the point on top. You get your little antenna, you know, and you go, I can see. Okay, now I know we got a little shade over here, over there, over here. Then when the wind hits the surface, it goes up, and it says, okay, now where is the shadow going to be cast? Oh, beyond the shadow of the doubt. Okay. Okay, now we got this, and we're working with it. Okay. Well, I need my resistor. Okay, so we're gonna go. Because it's rolling, 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 rolling. We got a little bit of slope here, man. You guys breathing? Okay. Now we're gonna push up towards the sun. It's almost noon. It's gonna build up once it hits here. A little bit, man, but it's a little bit off. Why? Because we got the fence right there, man. The fence, you know. Now, if noon is straight above, and it's not straight above yet, you see where it's straight above? You see? Straight above? Yeah, straight above. But I got my triangle right here. It should probably be a little bit more over there. Yeah, because the sun's straight above. Location, location, location. See, now I'm pulling. I'm pulling. I'm pulling. You see that? You see this? You see that? And I'm pushing. I missed my mark. Why? Because I put a dip. Now I'm pushing it that way, and I wanted it to go that way. So now the guy's gonna look at this stuff and be like, "Oh man!" So now the engineer got to come out and move some stuff around again. And I got my wavelength here. You know. Now look, I got my invisible triangle there. Now maybe what I do is I stop it like ping pong. So I put my triangle right there. Now I got my twist, roll it over, I sink it back, right? I hit a wall of resistance, I send it up, right? Remember the heat started over here. I put my point right here. Now I got a wall of resistance here, but it's pulling the other way. So when it hit here, you get a little twist. Now you get your recoil. We call that the recoil. Some Texas guys are working on recoil with little pea shooters and stuff. I'm like, did you see my laser beam yet? So we got a recoil over here. And we got a wavelength. Now when the pressure builds up over there, eventually, when it shoots this way, as it's rising up, now it's like the Borg on Star Trek, man. Like some Tron stuff, man. And it says, now it's gonna sweep over and do like a clean sweep. You still got the pressure coming from over there, and it's turning. Now it's, you get it, you know. And then I got a triangle here, man, slowing my roll so I don't roll off out of the way. I says, man, I should have had some trees there, but tell you what we do, we put the triangle right there, and now when it comes this way, right, it says roll over this way, some roll over that way, right? But there's a resistance, so it builds up more pressure as it's hitting it, and then it builds up pressure and then rolls around it and then slides down and drops off the drop, bounces off the tree. You know, maybe I need to put another triangle right over there, you know, like a, you know, and it says, man, that's pretty cool. It says, tell you what, you go over here, now you look at my line. You see I got my 2 lines leaning a little bit. Now I got my triangulated ray. I stepped all over it, messed it up, but you know, it's like a lightning bolt. You know, like electrodes, you know, like a nuclear stuff, man, coming off that building, right? Right? Because I'm gonna do a power curve this way with the radiation beams, and it's gonna curve the bullet, man. You know, and it says, I tell you what, man. Now that's bringing that pressure system here, man. And while I'm building up over there, it's bringing the stuff off the forest, man, and it's rolling around and sliding down and right in there building up the system, man. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do after that is I'm gonna take my eagle claw foot, man, and I'm gonna point. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's blowing straight at me. Oh, it feels so good, man. And hit this triangle though, man. And I gotta build this up and hit this triangle, and as it goes up the triangle, right, and some breaker this way and some breaker this way, right, and it smooth out, and why ask why? Okay, because it's sending some that way and it's sending some that way, so I'm sharing the system now. And then as it builds up resistance, man, and it get a wavelength through here, it says, now it starts to slow down and build up. And now as it builds up, now it wants to slide this way, and at the same time it builds up, it wants to launch up this way, and then maybe go down this way. And then when it go down this way, I got my flat side facing this way. Now remember, I got my radiation beam coming off of this. So my eagle claw foot, man, is going to want to curve the power curve, right? Now at the same time, I got some stuff coming off of this. Remember, I got the vacuum pack stuff over there. But it's not going to make it, man. It's going to curve. And I got my triangle at the other end of the field, man. I'm like, man, that's like a field goal. It's, tell you what, when the sun gets overhead, it starts to go over, man. It's like I'm packing everything down. When it rolls around, I'm like, now I get this stuff, man. It's like a grounding force, man. You see the grounding force, like an upside down pyramid, right? I'm like, and then that's the invisible pyramid building up. And I'm holding it. And the sun's like, oh, come on, I got it. Just hold it right there, okay? Pushing it up, okay? Be cool, man. Be cool, okay? Don't burn us up. And now it's building up. And you take it and and you're like, now it's bouncing off the trees, man. It's coming in. Now we're rolling this way. And you get a power curve like this because it's coming off the building. Now it's going. Now we got the power curve, all that radiated beam coming off of the dirt, man. Everything's pouncing up, man. It's like, now you got this, like when you jump at the playground, you got all those balls and stuff in the little playground. You jump in the little, yay, and that's like a winner in the education lottery, man. It's all these little particles of water, man.